Hello, you should have just received an email from me, and that would have these documents, and I just want to make sure I go through and discuss what you're going to be expected to do over the next, 6, 7 weeks. Anyway, welcome to Math 51. Here's my information. The best way to contact me during the summer is going to be either my email or using the Remind service, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The Remind service is really the best way because it shows up as a message. The email is fine, but like I said in my email to you is don't expect, or I think I put it in my syllabus somewhere, don't expect a response from me for about two days. So I'm going to be intermittently checking my email, and I'll try to respond within 2 days, but it's not a guarantee, so please do your best with that. The textbook is as follows. You do not need to purchase the textbook. What I'll have you do is you can sign into the Pearson MyLab Mastering. Make sure you do that by June 12th. You really want to make sure you get that done earlier and kind of get a head start because the first sections of homework, there's quite a bit. I tend to load up a lot at the beginning, and we go through some of the beginning materials a lot faster so that I can slow down at the end when we get to some of the harder, newer materials. Anyway, so make sure that you have that done by June 12th, or you can expect it to be dropped. And this would be the course ID for that. I also have attached a document that I'll go over to help you register if you need to do that as well. Please make sure that all of our exams are going to be proctored. Ideally, the best option would be to have them done in the Learning Center with Charlene, since I have an arrangement with her. To do that, you need to make an appointment, and here's her phone number. And make sure that the final exam is scheduled by Monday, July 10th. That does not mean that you have to take it that day. You can. Feel free to do it. But make sure that you have the appointment done by Monday, July 10th. A lot of those days fill up quickly, so it is your responsibility to make the appointments. Okay? Leaving messages doesn't cut it. You need to make sure that you actually contact her and set up a date. Okay? When you show up to take exams, you need to bring an official ID. That way we know who you are, and then she can assist you with the password to get you in. All of our exams, except for the final, will be done online. The final will be done with pen and paper, but the rest of them will be done online. Okay, so she will need to put in a passcode for that. When you make your appointment, make sure you're specific, the day and time. Do not just ask her what's available. Come in with a specific, and if she's not available, then she'll give you some extra times, and maybe have a couple times in mind. Also keep in mind that if an assignment is due, that you may not want to try to schedule it that day. You might want to try to schedule it a day early. So I'm giving you early access to this class because I'm really expecting you guys to work ahead. The summer school moves fast enough, so the faster you can kind of get ahead on it, the better you're going to be. If you need any additional assistance, I have opened up the discussion board. I have it separated by chapter, so all you need to do is when you log in, choose discussions, select the chapter, and then respond, and you can write a homework question. That's one option. You can email me regarding homework questions, but I'm not always able to respond immediately. So if the homework is due that night, that's not necessarily the best way to reach me. You might want to try to post it on the discussions, and the more you use that, the more you guys are able to help each other. Okay. Also, make sure that if you have time, go through those discussions and see if you can help other people. That will help you if they are struggling with something you struggled with. So please do that. As far as our grading, 60% of our grade is going to be the chapter tests and the homework quizzes. We cover chapters 6 through 13. There will be some online quizzes there, pretty much for each chapter. The official due dates for the online quizzes are July 8th, but I really encourage you to get those done before each chapter, just to help you review for the test. There are 6 tests. Any missed tests have a score of 0. Makeup tests are not given, so make sure that you schedule your date and you show up your date. You may test early if you arrange with me. Actually, I kind of have this open at this point, so if you can arrange, I would say, with Charlene, then you should be able to take any test early, and that shouldn't be a problem. For each test, you are allowed a note card, both sides. You'll be turning that in for each exam, and you need to make sure you supply your own paper. I know Charlene has some scratch paper, but I wouldn't count on that. I do give you an option of dropping your lowest test, so if there's something kind of rough that happens and you need to drop your lowest test, but the way that I allow you to do that is if you get into the Learning Center during their hours, and you can basically do your homework there or schedule a tutoring session. utilizing that resource. 30 hours is a lot over, basically 5 weeks. That's, 6 hours a week? But you're going to have at least 6 hours of homework a week. So if you just go there and work on it, you'll have access to tutors. You'll have access to a lot more resources that can help you benefit. So connect in there as soon as you can. If you're not able to do that, then that's fine. You just won't get to drop your lowest test. This is just an option. I also have opened up for the online that I will allow you to take a test twice. Now, I'm not trying to create a bunch of extra work for Charlene, so here's the deal. If you go to take a test a second time, that means that you had a bad day. You were like, wow, I was not prepared for that. That test needs to be arranged, once again, before the due date. So if you go to sign up for the test on the due date, that is your one attempt. Don't try to come in for a second attempt. But if you do a second attempt, what I will do is I will keep the score of the second attempt. So don't, if you got a 95% and you're wanting a 98%, you take the test at your own risk. Okay, I'm not trying to create extra work for Charlene. I'm just trying to allow for the fact that, especially maybe the first test, there's going to be some sticker shocks and people maybe don't know how it's going to run. I'm not trying to beat you up at the beginning. So if you're not prepared for the test and you think you can do better, then come and try a second time. But I will keep the score of the second test. So take it at your own risk. Final test is 20% of your grade. It'll be cumulative. What I'll do is I'll give you a page of topics that I'll have for the final. As we get closer to that, you're encouraged to rewrite the notes from previous chapters onto one page of notes, since it'll be cumulative, covering a lot of topics. I give you an entire page of notes for the final. Homework is 20%. Homework assignments should be submitted basically 11:59 before the date of each test. So our first test is, I believe, on the 19th. So on the 18th, the homework will close down at midnight. I also will want you to turn in not all of your notes, but 2 sections of lecture notes for each chapter. So I would say, let's say chapter 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 7 chapters, really. So I should have a total of 14 submitted lecture notes from you by the end of this semester. You can scan them. You can take pictures and send them to me via email. Or when you go in to take the test at the Learning Center in Porterville, you can turn in the notes there. So if you are going into Porterville and you want to turn in a copy of the notes there, Charlene can take those and stick them in my box, and then I'll receive them and give you those points. But please note that those are worth points. They will be a homework assignment for each chapter. I'm just wanting to encourage that you use the video lectures, but you may not need it for every section. So I'm not asking you to turn in all your notes, just basically 2 sections per chapter. So there should be a total of, 14 submissions, and that should be it. Okay. Here's the grade scale. This is a standard grading system. Do not count on me rounding. So an 89.99% is still a B. So make sure that you don't kind of walk that line. If you want an A, get at least to 90%. If you really want an A, I would encourage you to be going into the final with a 95% if you want to guarantee an A. It doesn't, but that would would give you a much better chance of getting that A at that point. Here's some important dates. Technology policy, obviously we're not going to be having class time, but the key here is that you cannot use your phone as a calculator. I know the Learning Center has some calculators where Charlene will take your ID and then swap you for a calculator, so that's one option there. Okay. You can read through these learning objectives. What else? If you need additional help, there are tutors available, and I've already encouraged you to get in there. Obviously, since we don't have class time, you won't be able to access me before class. I'm going to be actually out of town for most of June, so I'm going to be trying to manage this class. So don't plan on making an appointment with me during June. I will be back early July, so if you have any concerns right before the end of our course, feel free to call and schedule some time with me. If you have any disabilities or accommodations I need to know about, please contact the DRC and get that information to me as soon as possible. Here are our prerequisites. I want to just take a second and encourage you, since this is an online class, here's basically what I've set up for you. I have a video lecture for each section, okay? They generally range between 25 to 30. I think I have one long one, but it's like a combined section. This is the most important step. You don't need to just go through and take the homework and take the test. That is not going to help you be successful. You need to listen to the lectures, and you need to take the notes and then utilize those notes through the homework. Okay, so make sure you go through that video playlist, take those notes. I'm going to be asking you to submit them anyway for points. Look through the examples. You will have access to an online textbook through the service at Pearson. So feel free to look through and look at the online examples. I tend to not go through every single example in the book. I've combined a couple examples, and I spend a lot more time on each example discussing kind of what it means and what we need to do. And then make sure you work through your homework. There's some help buttons that we're going to talk about that are built into the homework that can help you. Some of them are better than others, but utilize those. And part of this, obviously, getting into the a learning center and tutoring and getting that extra assistance will be helpful. And if, after following all these steps, you're still struggling with something, post it on the discussion board, or you can send an email to me, but don't expect a response before 2 days. Okay. The syllabus is a contract, so don't ask me to deviate from this. This is how the system is set up. Okay, so there's our first document. What else do we have? I have an assignment list. Obviously, we're not meeting on these days, but if we were to meet, this is kind of what I would expect you to do over each day. So this is what I would consider to be a pacing guide. You need to at least keep up with these dates and these assignments. I strongly encourage you to work ahead, which is also why I'm giving you early access. So there's a lot of review material at the end. Most of that should be easy. I've actually posted kind of a review lecture of some old materials that you should know, and then we have a quick review of that. And you should be starting chapter 6 basically by Monday through. So this is going to be easily your longest homework assignment ever. Okay, that you can expect several hours of homework right there. Then we're going to be covering the rest of chapter 6 pretty quickly. So that's on Tuesday. By Wednesday, we're starting chapter 7. Chapter 7 is kind of short, mostly vocabulary stuff. So if you're struggling with that, then utilize your note card and start putting down some of those definitions. Okay. And by the end of that week, by the 15th, we should be finishing chapter 5. I will post a review materials that I normally use in my classroom. That'll be kind of a written out review materials, and you can go through those, and I'll post a key to each of those. So feel free to go through those, work them out, and then check your answers. And then that would be something that you would want to go to the Learning Center and get some additional assistance with if you're struggling with those. Monday, June 19th, I have our first test scheduled. You need to make sure that that test is done by that day. I would set aside between an hour and a half to 2 hours to take this test. Okay, so if the Learning Center, I can't remember if it closes at 5 or 6 during the summer, but you want to make sure that you schedule an appointment at least 2 hours before they close. Okay. Also, the last day to take this test is on June 19th. So if you sign up to do it on June 19th, that is your opportunity to take it. If you want more than one attempt, then you probably should schedule to take this test, let's say like Friday or Thursday of the week before. That's a lot of work to do by that Thursday before, but that's why I have early access to the homework and early access to these assignments. Okay. So as we go through, you see our next exam will be Monday, June 26th. You need to make sure that you schedule to take that with Charlene by that date, not later than that date, not calling to schedule it that morning. It is your responsibility to have an appointment set to take it by Monday, June 26th. Let me take a second real quick because I have, I think I have about 9 people on the wait list, and here's the opportunity I can give you. I want to give every student who is willing to succeed in this class and who's willing to put in the work an opportunity to take it. So if you are on the waiting list, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that waiting list alone. And if you contact me by Thursday, well, yeah, let's say by Friday, June 16th, if you contact me and you show me that you've completed all of these assignments, and I'm not going to say like 100% because there's going to be some hard questions in there, but you've at least gone through each assignment, and let's say your homework grade's about at 80%, and you have the first exam scheduled. If you have done that and you're on my waiting list by Friday, June 16th, I will add you to the class. So if you really need this class to graduate, then make that happen. get to work now, and as soon as you contact me and let me know that you have scheduled the exam 1, and you've done that by Friday the 16th, then I will add you to the class as long as you have, like I said, at least 80% on all of the homework up to that point. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of this. Let's see, a couple other things. 4th of July, we do have a holiday, so I didn't schedule anything that day. Another important date is July 18th. The online quizzes I've already encouraged you are something you should be going through before you take each test, but I leave them open as a review material for the final. So if you are struggling with those, that's fine. I leave them open. I leave them open to review. But if you do not have them done by Tuesday, July 18th, I will be submitting a 0 for those, and that was, what, 20% of your grade. So that is not points that you want to throw away. I have left the quizzes open. You can retake them as many times as you want. You can actually go into the Learning Center. You can work together with students. You can get help with the mentors there. These are open book, open note quizzes. What I find the quizzes where they really benefit you is that they don't have the help me buttons that the homework does. And so they're a much better reflection of what you can expect on the test, because the test isn't going to help you. It's not going to let you click a button and get help walking through a question. Neither are the quizzes. So make sure that you utilize those, but any ones that are not done by July 18th, I will be submitting a 0. Also, I know right here it says the final is July 20th. You can take it that day, but it is at your own risk. I would encourage you again to work ahead and make sure that you have that scheduled to take earlier that week. I believe on my syllabus I said that we take that by, what was it for the final? I probably should have put that there, but I had that up here. Where was it? Testing. Make sure that you have your your final scheduled by Monday, July 10th. Okay, so make sure that even though the exam has to be done by the 20th, you need to have an appointment to take that exam by Monday, July 10th. So you've already arranged for that. So get in there early and schedule your appointments, and then if you work ahead, then move your appointments ahead. That's fine, but get in there soon. Get in there often. Okay. All right, where are we at now? As far as registering for the course, this is not what I want. This is not what I want. This is what I want. Okay. To register, go to the Pearson My Lab. Here's the code that I gave you earlier. Go through and sign in. Once you sign in, you'll have access to the course, and I'll be showing you kind of a review of how the course works in just a moment. But one more important thing before I do that is this. The Remind service. This is not an optional service. You need to sign up for this service. You can receive it either via text messaging or email. So if you do not have a phone that receives text messages, or you don't want to pay for text messages, if you don't have unlimited text messaging, you don't have to get it that way. But then you can sign up. Where is it? Don't have a mobile phone. Here you go. You go to this site and you can sign up to get it via email. Okay, so you need to do that either by your phone or by your email, but you need to receive those messages. So I'll be sending a message on Monday, the first day of class, letting you know that we should be progressing through those assignments. I'll be sending you a reminder the Friday, letting you know that the test should be done by the following Monday. I'm going to be sending those reminders. Those are things that you need to get. If I have a student that comes up with an issue that I didn't recognize, this is going to be the way that I notify you. This is also a great way to reach me because it's a way for you to basically contact me. It shows up on my phone as a text message. I can contact you without having any of that like creepy swapping of phone numbers. So you don't get my number, I don't get your number, and we basically are able to still contact each other. So please make sure that you utilize this service. Alright, let's see, last but not least, let's look at what the course looks like when you log in. It should look something like this. Some highlights here. This is the course. Notice these are kind of your most active assignments right there. Here's your little death clock telling you when the assignments are due. Our next test should be in about, I would say, 14 days, because in 13 days and 12 hours, the Chapter 6 and 7 homework closes, and you're expected to take the next test. Okay. If I go view all assignments, that will show you all of the homework that we're doing over the entire 6 weeks. Notice I talked about the review. This seems very intimidating. There's a bunch of these assignments. The first couple are a little longer. They should take you about 20 minutes. Some of the shorter ones at the end are like 5 questions, maybe take you 10 minutes to do those. But keep in mind that that Monday, the 12th, our assignment is to do all of these review assignments, and I believe 6.1 and 6.2. I don't want to lie to you. Let me look real quick. That's why I sent this out. All of the review assignments and 6.1 and 6.2. That is easily the longest assignment you will have all semester. So if you get that knocked out and you go, that was crazy, I can't do this every day. I won't make you do this every day. That's just, we're going to start off fast so that when we get to the later material, I can slow down. I have opened all of the homework so that you can work ahead, but there are individual due dates on each of these, so that when you go to take the Chapter 10 test, that will close at midnight the day before the test. Okay? If I go to the bottom of the homework, you see all the quizzes. I have Chapter 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then 13, 14. I've merged them. Okay? You'll go in there, you click on those, you have unlimited attempts. So once you've done the homework, once you've done the lecture materials, go through the quizzes. These will greatly help prepare you for the upcoming tests. Okay? When you show up to take the test, you're going to go to the bottom and click on the test. It's going to ask you for a password. Charlene will be able to enter that code for you, and you'll be able to take exam 1. It will be very similar to your homework and very similar to these quizzes. Okay? Oh, I need to put the Chapter 6 quiz in here. Sorry, I'll make sure I have that fixed. Well, then the next probably 30 minutes. Next key. So I'm going to go back to the home here. Go back to home. Is going to be videos. I've posted videos here. So the intro day 1 material of the review stuff is right here. You click on that. That should be everything you need to do the review assignments. If you click on it, it'll pop up a little download. It should. I'm not going to wait for it. Yeah, so it'll download. Once it's done downloading, you click on it, and it'll open up a video just like this of me going through the material. Okay? Oh, crud. Give me a second. Alright, so basically right now, as of today, which is the 5th, I have through Chapter 9 already recorded and posted. So you could already go through and do 6, 7, take the first test, start 8, the first half of 9, take the second test. So I really am going to have access for you to do that by next Monday. If you wanted to start taking tests, you could work ahead and knock this course out and then enjoy the rest of your summer. Okay? My goal is that by the 12th, I have Chapter 10 completed, and then I'll be working on 11 and 12 and 13, 14 over the following couple weeks. Okay? So all of these videos should be posted, I would hope, by the 2nd or 3rd week of summer school, so that you can work ahead at your own pace. Okay? When I go to an assignment, I want to make sure we go through this real quick. I'll go to our first official kind of homework assignment, 6.1. Okay? If I go to a question, and let's say it's something I don't understand, okay? So I'm not sure how to factor this out and simplify. I can go up here to Question Help. In here I can click the Help Me Solve This, View an Example, Textbook. The Help Me Solve This should be the last thing that you click, because what I find is I will have students that click on Help Me Solve This for every single question, and then they're not able to do any questions without getting step-by-step instructions to go through the homework. My first choice would be to go to the textbook and look at the examples in the textbook. That would be like looking over your notes again. Second, if I click View an Example, it will be a similar example showing you how to factor, set it up, simplify. So it's kind of like a step-by-step instruction, almost like an additional lecture. If you do the Help Me Solve This, then literally it's going to be walking you through this exact question step by step. Okay? So that, like I said, is a great resource as a last resort, but if you're using that for every section, you probably will not be passing this class, so keep that in mind. If neither of those are really helping you, then what you can do is, well, first of all, let's talk about a couple other things. If I was to solve this incorrectly, let's see. So I'm looking at, I think this one's going to be 7/8. Okay, but let's say I typed in 7/9. Nope. So it says, remember, you should factor. So it's going to give you hints. It says, no, you made a mistake. Okay. So I go, oh, okay, yeah, no, that was supposed to be 7/10. Nope, that's not correct. Now, here's where I get scared because it says final check. So they're giving me a couple chances to do this. If I type in 7/8, I'm going to get it right, but I'm going to do 7/11 because I apparently want a flushy or slushy or something. It goes, no, it's supposed to be 7/8. Oh, crud. So if I do next question, it'll take me to the next question. If I do similar question, it will pull up a similar question that if I answer correctly, let's see. I will then receive credit for. So you don't lose those homework points. When you get them right, it goes back and it gives you those points. Okay? So feel free to complete the homework like I said. I mean, you could complete each one to 100%. I do have some harder questions and some easier questions. Some I'll expect you to need help on. Okay? So that's kind of the resources that are built into the homework. If you're still struggling, then what you could do is click down here to discussions. Go to chapter 6, which is, I think, already open there, and click respond and say, I'm having a problem. Say, 6 point, what was I just in? 6.2. I'm having a problem with question 9. Is there, I keep factoring and got 9/6, but the answer was wrong. And so I can take that, I can preview it, I can add attachments if I have images of the question, and then I post that. And somebody else goes, oh, this person's got a problem, they got 9/6. They can reply to that and go, oh, did you simplify 9/6 to get 3/2? I think that might be your only problem. And then they can post that. And now somebody's helped you, right? Now, obviously, I just helped myself, but the idea is you can post these questions and we can get those feedback. And the more you utilize this, the better you're going to have that communication and connection with the other classmates in the class, okay? So that is a resource I have opened for you, okay? All right, let me think if there's anything else. We talked about tests. The e-text is right there. We talked about the videos, due dates. I believe that is everything you need to be successful in this class. So get to work. I would get to work sooner than later, and thank you very much.